but determined to rise again with the Secretary of Homeland Security. Secretary Kristi Noem joining me now. Secretary, thank you so much for being here. Do you believe that Charlie Kirk's murder has been a turning point for the tone of this nation?
I do. I don't know if you do, Maria, but I feel a heaviness. It feels like a grief has settled on not just the country, but the entire world. Something has changed. My hope is that we will use this as an opportunity to come together and to unify. Some of the rhetoric we're seeing out of the left and out of political animals is ugly, and it's bitter, and it's seeking to seize this opportunity to turn it into evil. And I would just encourage everybody to start focusing on relationships, start focusing on each other, and talk about what Charlie believed in. I knew him, and he had the chance to know my family and my kids. He was a special man who stood up and was bold enough to go speak to people that disagreed with him. And we need more of that today, more civil discourse rather than some of the violence that we've seen.
President Trump has tried to make the nation safer by taking out the people who have committed heinous crimes. Can you give us an update on the deportation plans and where we are in that regard?
He has made it safer, Maria. Today, America is much, much safer than it was months ago before President Trump was in the White House. And I'm so grateful for his efforts that it doesn't matter what community you're in, what city you're in. President Trump doesn't treat anybody different. He goes in there and uses every tool that he has to cooperate with those communities to help make their streets safe again. So whether you're a small town or a big city, or like he's talked about in many of Chicago or Boston, LA, his continued efforts will be to work with those local leaders and try to help what he can do to make it better for their kids growing up there. In fact, the last thing Charlie had texted me about a day or two before he passed away was about those mayors and governors, that he wanted them to be held accountable for how dangerous they were making the situation for their people that had to live in those cities.
And of course, sending the National Guard into Washington, D.C. has made a huge difference. People are talking about how much safer it feels. But we spoke with Kash Patel several months ago about where the danger signs are in this country. And he said this about Memphis. Watch.
I didn't know this till my confirmation process, but Memphis, Tennessee is the homicide capital of America per capita. Didn't know that. We have a problem there. We're now addressing it. We're rolling out one of our task forces in the state of Tennessee.
Secretary, tell us about the plans to send the National Guard into Memphis, Tennessee.
Well, the president will be working with the local mayor and the governor in Tennessee to make sure that operations are streamlined and that we're effective and that we're going after the worst of the worst, those criminals that are there, getting them off the streets and making it safer. So it's good to have local leaders that understand the importance of the work that this president is doing, and that you can't have a successful society unless they can be free, unless they can go out and pursue their dreams and build businesses and live in their homes and send their kids to school and not have to worry about them at night. So the president is very engaged on this issue. He's grateful for the partnership of those local leaders, and we're looking forward to making a big difference there for the people that are in Tennessee.
And of course, we worry about adversaries, China sending hundreds of thousands of people into the country because of the open border, Russia, the same thing. What can you tell us about the bigger worry? Are you worried more about adversaries trying to unseat America as the #1 superpower, or the enemy within, Americans who are turning against their fellow citizens?
Oh, gosh, Maria, you are exactly right. So we talk a lot about cartels and known and suspected terrorists and gang organizations. But the fact is that those evil foreign governments that have sought to take us down for decades and decades, such as China, they infiltrated our country, too. They crossed those borders under the Biden policies that opened us up and made us so vulnerable for national security threats. So we do have efforts to make sure that we're removing those individuals as well. And listen, we're a nation of laws. We have borders. We enforce those laws now. We will go after every single person that is a criminal alien that needs to be removed for the safety of our future. And that includes not just cartels and not just foreign terrorist organizations. It includes those evil foreign governments who sent people here, too.
And what about the safe houses within America? I mean, tell us more about what you know about these drug cartels who have set up operations for human trafficking and drug trafficking within America.
Well, they're very sophisticated. You know, when we have talked about cartels and gang organizations in the past, I think people have thought about their violence, but they forget the technology that they're using. The UAS sophistication of equipment and counter UAS, how they're targeting our law enforcement officers. It's been absolutely amazing to see the American people get behind our law enforcement. We have just in ICE recruitments and recruiting 10,000 new officers, we have over 150,000 people that submitted applications. And every single federal law enforcement agency is seeing a huge increase in people who want to join and help make it safer. So these organizations have found safe havens in different areas. We are breaking them up. We're rooting them out. We're removing them and bringing them to justice for the crimes that they've committed. But they're international networks, Maria. And so I've been to over a dozen different countries negotiating security agreements, getting information, making sure that we're cooperating with our international partners too, so that we aren't just taking down the one bad actor in a community. We're going after their entire network worldwide, and we're going to destroy them.
Secretary, thank you. Thank you for your work. Thank you for being here this morning.
Thank you, Maria.
Secretary Kristi